Matthew's late. He's gone back to something.
So you're just naughty then. We can wait.
He's gone back to get something because he's supposed to be playing.
Are you going to set up anything actually in the chapel itself?
Not really, I'll probably keep on this.
She did say it.
Go for it. You've got a gap to it.
That's
Thank you very much, everybody, and please take your seats. Right, Imogen, you get comfy seats too. Thanks very much. Just everybody comfy? Hey, right. You're a good soul. You can have a comfy seat too. Best way to do it. So, good morning to you all, and a very warm welcome to Bella as we are gathered in to celebrate the wedding today of Luke and Amy. Now, they are so delighted that you can all be here to share the day with them, and indeed the weekend. There cannot be many people that say they've got 20,000 people at those but you don't have to feed them, so it's grand. Definitely the way to do it. Now, folks, my name is Kendall, and I'm a celebrant with the charity Humanist Society Scotland. Now, this morning, Luke and Amy are going to begin their marriage by exchanging vows in a humanist ceremony, a celebration of what makes their love and their relationship so unique. Now, no two ceremonies are the same, because no two couples are the same. But humanism promotes ethical living and a firm belief in the values of respect, tolerance and kindness, which I know are so much the basis of their lives together. Now, this love and support of both family and friends is particularly evident in Luke and Amy's choice of wedding parties today. Now, on Luke's side, we've got best men in Dad Rennie and brother Matthew, who also played so beautifully as our bridal party enter. So, superb work there, Matthew. Thank you.
my club.
Who's going to hate us for that? Because his own words, he said, I just want to hide behind people. And of course, as Amy's party arrived, we had a whole phalanx in pink, and was that not a beautiful front row we've got there? So we've got our bridesmaids, we've got Carrie, we've got Kaylee, we've got Carol, we've got Imogen, and then we've got Alice and Lucy as fabulous flower girls too, who did a fab job. So folks, to begin our ceremony properly, Amy and Luke have something to ask of each of you here today, and so we need to hear a resounding "we will" when I get to the end of this next bit. It's not too tricksy, I promise. So will you, as this couple's family and friends, promise to support Luke and Amy in their marriage, even though Luke can be a man-child? And in spite of Amy preferring the dog anyway. And will you promise to love them and to encourage them in their love for one another throughout their marriage? Will you?
We will!
Hey, that's the level of focus we were looking for. Thank you very much. Now, already taking her up on this promise, we have Granny Jilly, who is going to come up and share a reading. Now, these two have chosen a very lovely moment from a letter between Johnny Cash and June Carter to share. Thank you very much. Emergency hand pieces of rubbish, Judy.
Luke and Amy. We get old and get used to each other. We think alike. We read each other's minds. We know what the other wants without asking. Sometimes we irritate each other a little bit. Maybe sometimes take each other for granted. But once in a while, like today, I meditate on it and realise how lucky I am to share my life with the greatest woman I ever met. You still fascinate and inspire me. You influence me for the better. You're the object of my desire, the number one earthly reason for my existence. I love you very much.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Belongs to Luke and Amy started. Now, you two have known each other since you were little, since it transpires that Luke's mum Ellie used to childmind you and your sister Rachel. In fact, Rachel features rather prominently in the story at this early stage of their relationship, since one of Luke's abiding memories of this time is Rachel breaking his arm while playing Power Rangers on the Muppets. But then your paths went in different directions, and it wasn't until one night just before Christmas 2013 that you bumped into each other again down the pub. To this day, they are both adamant that the other made the first move. And, yeah, we saw that. But you two instantly clicked. There was lots of laughter involved, and you felt quickly comfortable around each other. You even had the same sense of humour, particularly when alcohol was involved. But not long after that, you headed to Wetherspoons for a beer and a burger, both of you happy just to see where this might go. And after a few months of dating, and once you were sure it really was going somewhere, Luke, you decided to introduce Amy to Imogen. Following that, you had your first holiday away together in April 2015, spending a week in Amsterdam with some friends, and then going back just the two of you that December to spend New Year together. And it wasn't long before your first year together had passed, and with Luke spending a good few weeks nights a week at your place anyway, Amy, you decided it just made sense for him to move in with you and the cats, who perhaps didn't take that quite as kindly. Now, moving in together is a big step for any couple, and there was plenty to learn about each other still. Luke, I hear that you were absolutely terrible at doing housework. And it took Amy a good few years to domesticate you. But in turn, Amy, Luke has taught you how to play FIFA on the Xbox. And apparently you're both so good now that you can beat him on occasion. That's still the occasion we're going to take it. You did add to that Luke snores incredibly loudly. But this is rarely a problem for you, since even if you're just watching a film in bed, you can rarely make it to the end without falling asleep yourself staring around. Now, when it comes to time off, you love to spend it with family and friends, especially doing activities with Alice. Individually though, Amy, you adore animals, bugs being the only exception here, and you will never pass up the chance to pass a dog in the street. So you enjoy spending time with the dog and the cat. Otherwise, you'll be doing something creative or arty, and when you get the chance, you like to do the gardening and the cooking too. Look, you're much more likely to be doing something football related. In fact, I hear you are very involved with football, playing several nights a week before a bad injury last year, coaching an under-12s team, volunteering at Elgin City FC, watching football and then reading about it, and really there aren't enough hours in the day. Now, of course, music is so important to you both, and hence it made so much sense for you to marry here at Belladrum. And you have very similar tastes, apparently, although, look, you cannot get on board with Amy's, and I'm quoting here, emo stuff. And she really isn't keen on your gangster rap. But together, you have grown up over these last few years. And while you might have given up on going out 5 nights a week, you have settled down together and you love the family that you've built. That's not to say you don't still have your adventures. Yeah, Belladrums, of course, both with and without the kids. Seeing the Stone Roses last gig together was a real memory for you. Taking the kids to Gran Canaria, Tom's side of the family, and countless other days out, shows and trips, of course. In many ways, you are similar in terms of morals, and it makes you such a great team. You're both quite laid back, especially Luke. See, that's ringing bells with your guests, isn't it? And a matching silly sense of humour. You have similar upbringings too, and you reckon that the way you parent together really reflects that. Look, you're the more organised one. You've been doing the majority of the wedding planning for today, although apparently this has only been the case since Alice came along, since Amy was very much the planner before that. Over the years, you've shown that you'll always be there for one another. You pick up the slack, you share household duties, you help each other out. If someone's feeling rubbish or struggling a bit, then the other will help you out without having to even think about it. Letting each other have a lie-in or washing each other's work clothes. Just the little things. You're both quite curious people, and you learn so much from each other too. Now, when I ask these two what it is that they most admire about the other, Luke told me Amy is incredibly caring and selfless. She's the kindest person you know, but not to be underestimated. She's a good judge of character and very insightful. She makes you laugh more than anyone else can, but you feel completely comfortable talking about anything with her. And for your part, Amy, you love that Luke is always so kind and always sees the best in everyone in every situation. You rarely see him angry, and he never holds a grudge. He's very caring and loving, your best friend, and a wonderful dad. Now, when it came to getting married, you both knew pretty early on that you were meant for each other. You'd been friends first, and then things just seemed to progress naturally from there. Luke, you began to plan a proposal, and Amy, you had absolutely no clue. It was a few months in the making, and Ellie and Rennie knew in advance, with Tom and Lynn hearing about it just as the plans were coming into fruition the day before, apparently. So you'd done your research, and the engagement ring was ordered to Rennie's house so Amy wouldn't see it. Once it did arrive, Luke took it home and stashed it on a high-up shelf that apparently Amy can't reach. But the last question, of course, was where and when. Christmas Eve seemed the perfect choice. And with Donna staying over, he hoped to steal Amy away out for a couple of drinks that evening, but that didn't quite go to plan. In fact, poor Amy had been so weary that she fell asleep reading Alice her bedtime story. And instead, Luke, you were busy wrapping presents until well after midnight, so that all went a bit pear-shaped. So in the end, it was only after Amy woke up and went to brush her teeth around about 2 a.m. that Luke sort of waylaid her, just deciding to go for it. Got down on the one knee there and then in the hallway. Now, Amy, it is fair to say that in your shock, your first response was not altogether encouraging. Apparently, her first thought was to burst out laughing and to tell him to F off. But then she did realise that this was a joke and did manage to say yes. You never thought you would ask. And then, of course, it was the happy job of telling all of you, their loved ones. While there might not have been any particular standout reactions when you shared the news, you do reckon that Luke's mum probably cried. And so here you all are, back at Bella, and today is your wedding day. Now, it's so clear to me from our first meet that these two have found everything they've ever hoped for in one another, and they're about to make their vows now in front of you, and I'm so delighted for them. So, Amy, we're going to steal your flowers away for safekeeping. Thank you very much. And get it to go. Yeah, I've got that prepared now. Stash that. Thank you very much. Fire that there. Thank you very much. No, thank you. They're not for sitting. Thank you, Nanny. So, right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys to face each other and to hold hands, please. Thank you very much. Now, you've chosen to make your promises together, so can I ask you both that if you agree with each promise, you're going to respond, I do. So, Luke and Amy, do you take each other to be the life partner for the other person? I do. Do you promise to cherish, to love, and to comfort each other, even when times are hard? I do. Do you vow to respect, support, and honour each other at all times? I do. Do you promise that you'll forever share friendship, fun, laughter, and adventure together? I do. Do you make it your vow to be trusting, loyal, and to forgive easily for the rest of your lives? I do. And do you endeavour to always remember these promises that you've made to each other and to remain true to them throughout your married lives together? I do. Super. One last question for you both. Again, you're going to respond, I do. You offer each other these vows in the knowledge of your shared past, in the love that you feel for each other in this moment on your wedding day, and with every hope for your future together. Do you accept these promises from one another? I do. So, folks, having made your personal promises, we now come to the most important part of your ceremony, and these are your legal declarations. Now, at this point, you're also going to exchange wedding rings, and they have been in the careful keeping of Remy up until now, so you need to bring them forward. Apparently, he's been very twitchy about this over the last couple of days. So, can you take each other's band, please? Thank you, and then we'll just set the box aside. Perfect, thank you very much. So, you're going to keep a hold of them and warm them up with your love. Now, as I say, these bands are an unbroken circle, and so for these two, they represent the hope of love without end. They will become a public representation of the promises that you've made each other today. Now, Amy, you're going to go first, so I'd like you to just hold the band in place at the top of Luke's finger, and then you're going to repeat after me. So, I, Amy, solemnly and sincerely, accept you, Luke, in marriage. To be my partner. In everything life brings. Thank you. Ring on, please. All part of the plan. Now we're going to swap over. Look, can you hold the band at the top of Amy's finger, please? And then we're going to get you to repeat after me. I, Luke, solemnly and sincerely, accept you, Amy, in marriage. To be my partner. In everything life brings. And ring on, please. Perfect. Now you're going to hold both hands, please, guys. Amy and Luke, as you wear these rings, let them remind you of how happy you feel in this moment on your wedding day. Even when you're apart, you carry the promises you made each other in these bands. Very shortly, you'll be declared legally married. So I ask you to take a moment now to look about these cheery faces who are all here to support you today, and take a deep breath. Because your wedding day is one that seems to fly. It's filled with emotion, friends, family, and such great joy. So a deep breath, because this is the important bit. Because Amy and Luke, in front of friends and family, you have made the most wonderful promises and given your legal declarations, which form a solemn and binding contract. You've exchanged your vows and your wedding rings, and therefore I am delighted to declare that you are legally married. Congratulations! Afterwards. Now these two are going to swirl behind the bench, and we're going to keep our witnesses as they are just now. We'll call you forward when we need you, just for a wee bit tight for space up here. So chat amongst yourselves, please don't dash off. Like I say, this means that Luke and Amy are officially and legally married, and that needs a bit more noise from you lot, I think. Oh, it's all part of that plan. Perfect, it looks very wedding-y. It's okay.
It looks nice.
I just want to feel like that would be cool. What do you think?
We'll take that. Just okay.
I find that out.
Exactly. We're keeping her. We've got another 2 ends on here today. Right, Alice, it's okay. Perfect. Just it's okay. Proper job. There we go. We're all set. Now, folks, act as a married couple. These two have chosen to exchange the quake or the loving cup. So called because you have to hold it in both hands, and the idea is that in times of clan trouble, I mean, you can hold the weapon at the same time, but we're hoping for slightly more difference. All part of the plan. It said in 1589, when King James the 3rd of, so he wasn't even 2 days and 6, I do apologise, married Anne of Denmark. He gave her a queen, and they were the very first to celebrate their marriage in this way. So these two are following a centuries-old tradition. Now, of course, that tradition would normally involve whiskey and water, and we still sort of are, except one's having water, one's having whiskey. There's not much fun in that for Amy. We do what we can. So, look, can we get a good glug of your whiskey into that mead queen there, please? Thank you very much. And it's such a lovely one. It's been engraved with their names on, especially for today. Good healthy dose in there. It's got just a wee dram. Start with a weeks to go on. Now, folks, what we are going to start with doing is we'll get. Look, can you take the one that's got the water in? Amy, please don't feel the lights just wiggle on after this. So good. Now, folks, so Luke is going to share the loving cup with Amy. So, Luke, can you keep a hold of it as well? There we go. And Amy, you're going to take a little swig of the water out of that one. Perfect, thank you very much. We'll put that on the side, and then Amy, if you take the metal one, please. So that gives you there we go, we're still getting a look at the thing. So Amy, please share the loving cup with Luke, and he's going to take a good swig. Now, apparently to bring good luck. Yes, it is, of course, Scots tradition to bring good luck to the couple, and Luke went for it. He's prepared for this marriage thing. So, folks, we are now very near to the conclusion of our ceremony. And they've had a head start on the drinks. I'm sure you're just as keen to toast this wedding too. But before you all disappear, we are going to gather you all on the steps just outside for a group photo. So don't worry about packing up. Feel free to leave stuff here to go get your photo taken, and then you can come back in and collect your bits and pieces. All part of the plan. So, folks, we do also have a guest book, so just to let you know at some point, if you could just give these guys They forgot the guest book. Just be there, tell them how happy you were today. That would be tremendous. So, folks, we've got a final well-wishing, and then our time will be done here. So may nature's peace flow into you, as sunshine flows into the trees. May care drop off from you like golden autumn leaves. And may the heart of the mountains sing of your love. And may these wishes carry you into your married lives together. Amy and Luke, thank you all for your presence here this morning. It really does mean so much that you've made it here to Bella to share your time with them. Luke and Amy, on behalf of all your guests and myself, we wish you all the very best as you embark on this wonderful adventure. So we're going to steal your flowers now, Amy, because you're going to need those for heading out into happily ever after. There we go. Luke, do you want to line up that tree? We're going to let you have that tune. We've got a brief moment where we need to change the battery on the phone. All part of the plan. But first of all, please, before they disappear into our happily ever after, can I ask you upstanding again, please? Thank you, everybody. Just like that. Perfect. So, folks, get ready to welcome them with your warmest applause and cheers, as it gives me the greatest pleasure to present to you for the very first time your bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Sharkey. And we will send you off to your happily ever after. Let's keep that applause going.
Remember the rings. I would have been like that all the time. Someday. I will be on Sunday. It's an acorn.